other people's sounds or preset sounds, you have to do so much work to bring those into your story, and and we just skip that. We're just too impatient. That's why we don't use presets.
I completely understand. That's such a nice way of putting it. I always felt like preset. I don't know. I couldn't describe it in that way before, but like using presets, it was almost like not as satisfying because you're trying to make something fit into something else.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally understand. That's so interesting. Do you have anything to say about, in particular, about collaboration? Because you guys have been such a team for so long. How is that? How do you use that? What are the advantages of that? Or what's so? I mean, clearly your body of work speaks for itself. But you know, what's so special about collaboration in your mind?
It just helps you to be faster, and I think when like over the time, I mean, basically we didn't really notice how much time we've already spent together. It always feels like it's about the moment, and it's not really like we're not really aware of like for how long we're already doing this. But I think it makes you faster, and you can split up tasks, and you just get more done. That's it. And sometimes it's also a bit more. I mean, it's a bit more exhausting in terms of like too much energy. Things are a bit over the top, and then but you're still free to do things on your own. We both have like our own projects besides Mouse Mouse, but Mouse Mouse still seems to be the thing that produces most energy on different levels. Like the live shows are well attended.
Yeah.
People want to see concerts, and they want to hear records, and there's like there are people out there who kind of keep us releasing stuff. it's kind of like this, but also it's the tension between the two of us. It seems to never end. I think we started with I think it's similar than than how it's quite similar than sound production basically. Your motivation to start with it in the first place, I think is super important to how this project will develop and how long you can go for. It's not always good to do things long term. Sometimes it's good to say like, yeah, we're only doing it like for a couple of years, and we want to have a certain success, and if we don't have that, we stop. That can be a concept, or you say we're making a record every 10 years. Isn't it? Aren't Daft Punk doing this? I think Daft Punk have a concept, no? I heard it.
I haven't heard of that, but they certainly are a lot slower than you guys.
Yeah, but I think they have a concept. I think they say every 10 years or something.
Oh wow, it's incredible. Well, it's worked because I remember that, you know, a few years after Discovery came out, it made this resurgence and hit at least in America, it hit the pop charts again as if it had just been released. So
Yeah.
I guess something's working with that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
No, they are really amazingly clever. So I think those guys must have a certain tension as well. And maybe for them it works because they're more conceptual in a way, or kind of find a way to merge their craziness into a more conceptual platform, which is the band for them. For us, the band is more like a vehicle that we constantly add parts and try to improve it, and kind of we pimp it up and slow it down, and I don't know, it's really like that. It's like this, and we sometimes I feel we're like two engineers who just have to keep it running, and that's our task. And it's not so much about my personal motivation or feeling about it, and not so much about Andy's vision or something. It's really just like we have to do that. If we wouldn't do it, no one else would do it, and if it takes all our energy, then it's nothing we can do about it. So.
Well, I love that. I think that's great, and it sounds like you really feed off of each other a lot, which is great. But I mean, how do you manage to? I mean, I guess that you kind of answered the question, but you guys are coming out with so many records all the time, and I see it all the time in myself and in students where people are afraid to release and commit and move on.
Yeah.
And how do you? I mean, it seems like that's not a problem, obviously, for you guys. But how do you make sure that doesn't happen, or was it ever a problem
find a way not to think about it. I think once you become aware of releasing music as like a statement, I think you just become frightened to death. And we just, yeah, really, we just did it for the joy of doing it. And again, like the way we started the band was quite, it was quite casual, and it was actually friends who told us like, look, you should really make a record from that music. And at that time we weren't sure if that would really make a record, if this kind of music would be record music.
Right.
And it was kind of like through people who came to our studio, we were constantly working on things, and they kind of gave us this motivation. And I think everyone has a different story. Some people really want to be part of a certain movement, a certain musical genre, a certain musical idea, and they want to contribute something, and they want to comment on that and add their view. And then there's other people who I think we're more part of, who just develop something, and it's probably something very obscure even to themselves, but they feel this kind of call to go that way and find new elements, and it's kind of like a research. It's nearly like it's a quest, and on your way you find all these little bits and pieces, and then once you found a channel, once you have a certain confidence to work with someone, and I think it's really helpful if you have a group of people around you, if it's like a group of music lovers, or a good label you like to work with, or a group of artists who are kind of like-minded, who work on similar ideas. They don't even have to necessarily make music. If you have, like, I wouldn't call it a scene, but a certain social group that gives you confidence and that's trustworthy, I think that helps a lot to give you the confidence to just let go. And I think every record should just be like, okay, that's a statement for now, but we're gonna improve it very soon. That's what we came up with within the given time. It's never like a really finished thing, and we've always considered all our records as kind of unfinished in a certain way. We felt like at a certain point that was a snapshot. You know, that's like that's just the screenshot of what we're working on, but it's continuing even after it's
cross section.
Yeah, exactly, and even after it's pressed on a record, it still has its own life and continues to remodel in a way. How's the Abcut? Okay.
Ich bringe mal ein paar Sachen schon mal runter.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
Cool.
Kommen wieder.
Yeah, so